top four. Kevin Millwood facing Gary Sheffield, who had a rough Friday night. 4 strikeouts, including that one. First time he's ever done that. Bottom 5, 2-1 Dodgers. Millwood at the plate. Bunt. Beltre fields it. Goes to Cora. Then back to first. 5-6-4. Double play. Still 2-1 Dodgers. Bottom 7. B.J. Surhoff. Oh, B.J. getting it done. His first home run as a Brave. That would tie the game at 2 apiece. Bottom of 8th. Game still tied. Chipper Jones facing Terry Adams. And Chipper gets a double. Andrew Jones will come on in to score. Chipper breaks out of a 1-for-27 slump, longest of his career. Braves up 3-2. Still bottom 8. The big cat, El Gato Grande, Andres Galarraga. And it's something positive for the big cat. That's a shot just past Sean Green. That'll score Javi Lopez and Keith Lockhart. Atlanta fans love to see the big cat, and they would love him again Friday night as the Bravos get the victory. They batted around and scoring 5 runs in the 8th to break it open. Larry.
Cook, well, he stared him down after Cook hit him with a pitch and then flirted with a cheap shot on catcher Todd Pratt when he was scoring from second base. Pratt said about the Giants, "We need to knock them out, putting wins this weekend ahead of revenge," but he did admit, "I'd like to see Marvin go hitless." Our SportsCenter showcased the series opener at Shea, Dusty in to face Mike Piazza. When Dusty was playing for the Dodgers, Piazza was the bat boy, and Dusty used to say he thought Piazza was his good luck charm. Well, we'll see how that mojo was working Friday. Top 2 after Jeff Kent lit off with a double. Glendon rush to Ellis Burks. Mike Bordick, full extension, backhander. The Mets get out of the inning with no damage. Top 3rd, Calvin Murray.
2-1 delivery.
Down the right field line, and look at the fancy footwork here from Derek Bell. Don't trip over that line. He sticks the landing. 2 batters later, Barry Bonds and Rush rings him up. Glendon Rush allowed 1 run on 5 hits. He struck out 5. Barry's not happy. Still top 3. Burks, runners on first and second. To third, Robin Ventura coming in. Tries to tag Russ Davis. Umpire Scott Higgins says no. Bobby V and Ventura, they would lose the argument. Replay showed Ventura did miss the tag. It's ruled a hit. Now, bases loaded. Rich Aurelia and Rush one more time gets out of it. Brings him up. Have a seat. Bottom 4 now. It's Piazza. Hoping maybe Dusty will be his good luck charm. Runner on second. 2 outs. Piazza. Uh-oh. Off Mark Gartner, and that is gone. Todd Pratt, your thoughts? Thank you. Piazza's 31st of the year. 2-0 Mets. Bottom 6. Edgardo Alfonso.
Gardner's pitch.
And just like Piazza measured at 411 feet, 2-run shot is 14th, and the Mets go on to win this one. Giants winning streak stops at 4 with the 4-1 loss. Armando Benitez closed the 9th. His lead over the Tribe. Just 1 game going into Friday's visit from the Tigers. Top 1, Juan Gonzalez up. Gil Heredia up the middle. Billy McMillan's going to come in. Terrence Long with the throw. Bobby Higginson will score. Juan gone, hustling in. Higgins up at third. It's 2-0 Tigers. Top 2, Jose Macias to center. Terrence Long sticks the landing. Oh, that's gorgeous. Worth another look. Full extension. Bottom 7, C.J. Nitkowski facing Randy Velarde. Just a bit inside. Called the ball. Brad Ausmus disagrees with home plate ump Mike Fitcher. He's tossed, and Phil Garner just goes berserk. Getting his money's worth here. Cover that up. Where's Carl Everett? He could chime in on that, maybe. Garner was also ejected. Oh, the Tigers. You know, since their 9-23 start, the Tigers have gone 45-37. That's pretty good. They have
Chuck Finley, 19-7 lifetime against the M's. Scary moment, bottom 1st. His first pitch to Ricky Henderson. Finley goes down. He was on the ground for some time. Indian players and coaches concerned as they check on Finley. Here's the replay. Looks like he turns his ankle. Ouch. But he's a tough guy. He would actually stay in the game. Bottom 2, bases loaded. Maybe he should have come out. He would walk Ricky Henderson. David Bell scores to make it 3-1 Seattle. The next batter was John Olerud, hitting for the injured Stan Javier. Grounded to second. The Indians get the DP, but Joe Oliver scores. It's 4-1 Seattle. Top 4, still 4-1. Will Cordero at the plate, man on first. Look at A-Rod start the DP, as only A-Rod can. Later, it's Jamie Brewington facing Edgar Martinez with the bases loaded. And Edgar gets a hold of one. That's going to score Ricky Henderson. Second RBI for the night for Martinez. That made it 5-1 Mariners, and Seattle goes on to win 7-1. A 10-hit attack. Martinez with 109 in the RBI column. Joe.
Road trip under a full moon in Pittsburgh. Bottom 5, Alex Ramirez to left off Armando Reyno. So Aramis Ramirez scores, and Alex is going to go into second. Nice footwork there. We're tied 1-1. Check out the replay. Tough to tell if J. Bell got the tag in or not. Mike DeMuro says safe. Top 7 still 1-1. Tony Womack. Womack to center off Dan Serafini. Jason Conti coming home. Adrian Brown is throwing. Jason Kendall holds on. Check this one out. No doubt about this tag. Game will stay tied. Same inning, 2-1 D-backs. This is Luis Gonzalez, and that's a home run. Gonzalez hitting .500 against Pittsburgh, 14 for 28, his 25th home run of the year, and the first Arizona homer in 4 games as they win 6-1. Diamondbacks pick up a game, move now within 2 of the Giants for the
2 outs, and Jenkins knows what to do with a bat. Gets a hold of one. That's a drive. That is going to fall into the gap. Eric Davis can't quite get to it. Jenkins on at first. Now the next batter would be Richie Sexson. Still with 2 outs, and Sexson nails one. It's high, it's deep, and that's a souvenir. 2-zip Milwaukee. Top of the 6 is where we take you next. 2-1 Brewers. Jeff D'Amico to Eric Davis. Bloop to right. Burnitz coming hard. Coming hard. Jeremy, no, not quite. Davis goes to second. Burnett's a little worried about him. Next batter, Will Clark. And Clark lines that one to left field. And that's going to make its way down. Clark's 8th RBI as a Redbird. Redbirds tied at 2 apiece. Bottom 6, same score. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Darryl Kyle, Marquise Grissom. Advantage Grissom. Jeff Jenkins says, thanks, I think I'll be scoring. They would add another in that inning. And Darryl Kyle took it out on his mitt. Miller beats Bud for a night. Kyle falls to 13-8. He's now lost 4 of his last 6 decisions. Redbirds just 4.5 games ahead of Cincinnati. Sosa. Oh, Sammy. Bottom 5, 2 on, 2 out. And now nobody's on because it's a 3-run shot. His 36th. Cubs up 4-0. Top of the 8th, 2 on, 1 out. Ken Griffey Jr. You know, his club was actually down 4-0 at that point. Not anymore. Junior brings in 3, including himself. His 34th makes it 4-3. After a Sean Casey single, Dimitri Young rips one off Steve Raines as well. 5-4, the Reds take the lead. The next batter would be a guy named Calvin Reese. We like to call him Pokey. Back-to-back variety right there. Reds come roaring back. Steve Raines serves up 3 homers in the 8th. I hope his mom was not rolling the VCR. She would not want to see those highlights. That wasted a terrific effort by Kevin Tapani, who could not often be described as slumbering this season, but slumping lately, certainly. Everett went 1 for 12 during the stop in Anaheim, and after hitting 20 homers in the season's first 49 games, came into Arlington Friday with just 7 homers in his last 42. Boston 6-7 on the trip so far. I don't smell that bad. Top 4, Boston down 1-0. Everett. Say hello to my little friend. Have a good trip now. Upper deck is 28, 2-1 Boston. Top 5. Lynn facing Everett one more time. To center. What slump? His 2nd of the game, 29th of the year. Suddenly, it's a Boston blowout. They're up 7-1, still in the 5th. After a Troy O'Leary base hit, Lynn pulled for Doug Davis. But hold on, the Red Sox are called back to their dugout because Glynn is down in the Ranger dugout. He lost consciousness in this game. He was taken off on a cart. He did come to a little woozy. He was taken to the hospital and will be held there for observation. Play was suspended while he took care of that. Bottom 8 now, Gabe Kapler trying to extend that hitting streak, and this one is up the middle. Gabe Kapler has now hit in 24 straight games. That ties a Ranger team record for the Red Sox win 7-3. Carl Everett's 11th career multi-home run game and a 2nd of this season. Red Sox have won 2 straight after. Hernandez, bottom 1, 2 runners on, nobody out. Mo Vaughn doubles the right field. That'll score Erstad and Palmeiro, 2-zip halos. Hernandez gave up 4 in the first. He always struggles in the first inning. In fact, he came into Friday's game with a 10.19 ERA in the first, 3rd highest in the AL. Top 4, 4-1 halos, and that's a shot by Glenn Allen Hill. It looks like it's a home run. That'll score Jose Canseco, won't it? Maybe not. Check it out. Canseco stop at third because it was ruled a ground rule double. On the replay, you see a fan actually pulls it in right over the scoreboard. Okay, the Yankees didn't take advantage, but still 4-1 Halos. Then top 7, 6-3 Halos, and it's Glenn Allen Hill again. Bases were loaded this time, and again, it's a missed opportunity. Tim Salmon catches the harmless fly ball. Bernie Williams did have a home run, his 27th, but it's a win by the Halos. El Duque roughed up once again. He has now lost 5 of his last 7.
Ball top 4, Brian Bohannon off Dustin Hermanson. Bohannon coming in an 0-85 hitter, 2 for 25, but the pitcher gets his second career home run. Rockies up 3-1. Top 6, it's Bohannon again. Again facing Hermanson, and again he burns him. This time it's to right. It's going to bring in Todd Walker. Bohannon a double makes it 5-1 Colorado. He also pitched pretty well, 7 solid innings, allowing only 1 run on 9 hits. Still top 6. They're loaded for Larry Walker. Just his 9th home run of the year, but his 4th career grand slam as the Rockies win 10-3. Colorado getting at least 10 runs on the road for the 3rd time this season. Compare that to when they play at Coors. The
With the 6th, Alu hits this shot to left field. That just might be a souvenir for somebody. Not quite, not high enough. His 18th of the year. Astros tie the game at 1. Then it's Alu, good with a bat and good with a glove. Robs Travis Lee of an RBI. The inning ends with a 2-1 Philly lead. Then with the bases loaded for Jeff Bagwell in the 9th. And he gets plunked. Okay, so that'll score Glenn Barker. Astros up 3-2. Now this is how you empty the bases in a hurry. Lance Berkman over Doug Glanville's head. Astros go up 6-2, and they win this one. They scored 1 in the 8th, 5 times in the 9th. They win the battle of bottom feeders.
First to 3 at Florida, top 4. This is Phil Nevin, and that's the home run off A.J. Burnett. A solo shot, his 2nd in as many games and 25th of the year. A new career high for Nevin, who's 11 for 20 with 5 homers against the Marlins this year. Bottom 8, Adam Eaton gets Preston Wilson, and it's got to be the bat. Eaton, 8 shutout innings, allowing only 6 hits, the longest outing of his career. He struck out 6, his 4th career victory. Trevor Hoffman finished for Eaton.
The Royals at Kaufman, bottom 4, O's up 3-1, man on first. Rookie Mark Quinn hits one deep to left field. Way back, and that's in the bully. That would tie the game at 3. Bottom 7, game now tied at 4, man on second. Johnny Damon rips one to left field. Greg Zahn says, thanks, I think I'll be scoring. Damon tries to make it a double. He does. Royals up 5-4. Top 9, Baltimore threatening. Melvin Mora singles to left field. Mark Lewis comes on home. Royals up 7-6. But with 2 out and a man on first and a man on second. Albert Bell could not be the hero. That blooper to Mike Sweeney, and that's the game ender.
To 1977, Toronto's expansion season. In the first, Christian Guzman on third, Kelvin Escobar. Glove save and a beauty. Backhanded on Denny Hawking. Throws to third and gets Guzman. Take a look at the replay. Escobar turning toward first, making the no-look grab, checking things at first, and then going over to third. Not out of trouble, though. Next batter, Matt Lawton. Uh-oh. It must be the new unis or the old unis. 2-run homers, 8th of the year, 2-0 Twins. Hit that one for Roy Smalley. Lawton not done, facing Escobar in the 5th. Double to right, that scores Guzman and Hawking. Lawton 3 for 5, knocked in 5 in the game. That made it 5-3 Minnesota. The Twins win 9-4, snapping a 3-game losing streak. Blue Jays fading fast. Toronto has now dropped 9 of its last 11. And there was this. The Twins have asked Major League Baseball for permission to play 3 games outdoors in September in a temporary ballpark built near the site of the old Metropolitan Stadium. That's, of course, the Mall of America now. The proposal for a 25,000-seat temporary ballpark designed to generate fan enthusiasm for new open-air Twin stadiums they are hoping to build.
Take you there for the details.
There's a drive.
Tampa Bay actually led 5-0 in this game at one point, but that lead would not last. Good defense right there. Carlos Lee with a nice leaping catch, robbing John Flaherty. Top of the 5th. It's Maglio Ordonez with the bases loaded. The bullet off of Cairo's glove. That'll score a pair to tie the game at 5. Then it's Felix Martinez. Bottom 5. 2 outs, runner on second. Paul Konerko, robbery, leather, larceny. Nicely done. Bottom 7, Bill Seamus facing Russ Johnson. Asseyez-vous. That's French for you may be seated. That ends the inning. Bottom 9 with 1 out and a runner on second. John Flaherty. Oh, Johnny, 2 outs. Next batter, Jose Guillen. That's a shot. Maybe that's a base hit. Then again, maybe not. White Sox bully gets it done. 5 1/3 of scoreless relief. They rally from a 5-run deficit. Ordonez with 3 RBI. He has 94 for the season, and he's now batting .320.